Right, listen up. We all know that life can be a bit of a roller coaster, full of ups and downs. We all need a good laugh, yeah? It's like a breath of fresh air for our souls. Life's too short to be serious all the time. A hearty laugh can turn a bad day into a good one. I mean, have you ever seen a pigeon wearing a tie? Exactly, ridiculous. But it's these little absurdities that make life interesting. Laughter is like a little holiday for your brain. It's a mini vacation from stress and worries. It's that warm cuppa on a rainy day, that extra biscuit with your tea. It's those small joys that make a big difference. We all have those days, right? The ones where nothing seems to go our way. The ones where everything seems to go wrong. You feel like the universe is conspiring against you. Your alarm doesn't go off. You wake up late and everything starts to spiral. You spill coffee on your favorite shirt and it feels like the end of the world. And your train gets delayed. It's like a comedy of errors. But hold on. Before you disappear into a world of despair, let's inject a bit of humor into the situation. Find the funny side. Because laughter, my friends, is the best medicine. It's a universal language that connects us all. It's free, it's contagious, and it makes you feel bloomin' brilliant. It's like a magic potion for the soul. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a right good chuckle as I share some hilarious moments that are guaranteed to brighten your day. Let's laugh together and make the world a bit brighter. Trust me, you'll need it. A good laugh is just what the doctor ordered. Now, I've had my fair share of embarrassing moments. Who hasn't? We all have those cringe-worthy memories that make us want to crawl under a rock and never come out. But there's one that still makes me cringe, even years later. It's the kind of moment that pops into your head at 3 a.m. and makes you groan out loud. Picture this. I'm at a fancy awards ceremony, all dressed up in my best bib and tucker. The lights are bright, the cameras are flashing, and everyone is looking their absolute best. I'm feeling confident, maybe even a little bit famous. I had rehearsed my walk to the stage in my head 1,000 times. As I'm walking up to the stage to accept an award, what do? Trip. Over. Nothing. It was like my feet had a mind of their own. The crowd gasped, my face went redder than a beetroot, and I'm pretty sure I heard someone snigger. It felt like the world had stopped for a moment. But you know what? I owned it. I decided in that split second that I wasn't going to let this define me. I got up, dusted myself off, and made a joke about my clumsiness. Something along the lines of, well, that's one way to make an entrance. The audience roared with laughter and the tension was broken. It was like a wave of relief washed over the room. From that day forward, I learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself. Embrace the awkwardness and turn it into a moment of joy. Let's be honest, the kitchen is a prime location for comedy gold. One time, I decided to surprise my wife with a romantic dinner. I'm talking candles, music, the whole shebang. I even attempted to make a fancy French dish I found online. Well, let's just say things didn't quite go according to plan. My wife walked in, took one look at the carnage and burst out laughing. We ended up ordering takeaway and having a good old giggle about my disastrous attempt at being Gordon Ramsay. The moral of the story, never underestimate the power of a good takeaway. Section 4. The day my phone became a fish. Now, we've all heard those stories about people accidentally dropping their phones in the toilet, right? It's almost like a rite of passage in the age of smartphones. Yeah, well, I'm one of those people. And let me tell you, it was as mortifying as it sounds. But this wasn't just any toilet. Oh no. This was a toilet at a fancy restaurant, the kind where you feel like you need to dress up just to use the restroom. This was one of those high-tech toilets with automatic flushers that sound like a jet engine taking off. You know the type, right? So, there I am, minding my own business, when my phone decides to make a daring escape from my pocket and plunges headfirst into the abyss. Before I can even react, the toilet lets out a deafening roar and attempts to flush my phone into oblivion. It was like watching a slow-motion disaster unfold. I'm not gonna lie, I panicked. My heart was racing and I was frantically trying to figure out what to do next. In my desperation, I called my phone from the restaurant's landline, hoping against hope that it would somehow survive. And guess what? It rang from inside the toilet bowl. The sound was both hilarious and heartbreaking at the same time. Thankfully, the restaurant staff were kind enough to fish it out for me. Again, pun intended. They were surprisingly understanding about the whole situation. Needless to say, my phone didn't survive the ordeal. It was waterlogged and completely unresponsive. But hey, at least I got a funny story out of it, right? It's not every day your phone decides to go for a swim in a fancy restaurant toilet. Section 5. Kids say the darndest things. Listen, if you want a good laugh, just hang around kids for a bit. One time, I was at the park with my son and we were watching a dog do its business. My son, being the curious little thing he is, points at the dog and shouts, "Daddy, why is that dog eating grass with its bum?" I mean, what do you even say to that? Kids, they're innocent, they're honest, and they're absolutely hilarious. They remind us to see the world through a different lens, a lens that's often filled with fart jokes and silly faces. Section 6. Finding the funny side of life. So, there you have it, folks. Just a few of the many hilarious moments that have brightened my day. From tripping over thin air to battling road toilets, life is never dull. Laughter is important, my friends. It's what makes life worth living. So the next time you're feeling stressed, down in the dumps, or like you just want to scream into the void, remember to find the funny side of things. Trust me, a good laugh will do wonders for your soul. And hey, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you don't know whether to laugh or cry, just remember, always choose laughter.